Hello, welcome back to my channel, Jenjoy Plans. Today I am doing my talk through of my Spain trip. I'm so sorry, Sadie is here. Anyways, I used the Silly Studio art set that was called Mojito, I think. And I did the printable version and popped in some more of the blue. And then I am using copper foil, so I have these like really cute underlays from Playing With Me stickers that are like the whatever leaf that is, I'm blanking out. And then I paired it with some quote boxes also from Playing With Me stickers, and then some Alicia Craft luggage foil and copper down at the bottom, and then this little custom from Alicia as well that lists the 3 places we went to. And yeah, so let's just dig into it. I do have my scripts, and I'm hoping that we will be a little faster, and then my little pulled stickers. I'm hoping we'll be a little faster today. If you watch my Norway Playing With Me, you'll know that that was a long one. But yeah, so let's see, where did we leave off? In Norway, we flew to Spain. Okay. First night in Spain, in Barcelona. So our first stop was Barcelona. We kind of like maximized the evening the prior and went to our first flamenco show, and it was literally the most amazing thing ever. Yeah, literally like loved it. And that was a really great way to kind of like experience the culture. And then I feel like okay, that's all good. And if you watched last week's, you know that I made my scripts way too small, but we are rolling with it. So we woke up the next morning, grabbed some coffee, and this is kind of out of order, but just for spacing wise, we did this really long walking tour of the city of Barcelona, and I just really love walking tours. It was so great. Our tour guide was actually from kind of like around where we live, which is cool. He like studied abroad and never came back in Barcelona, and yeah, he was a fellow teacher, and that was his summer gig, so super great. Then I started the the saga of the salad lunches in Spain. Spain, I'm sure, has some decent gluten-free food. However, that just was not my experience. Maybe my tweezers would help. Yeah, I just really struggled to find gluten-free food in Spain. I think it was a combination of like I was not able to use my phone because that was the like plan. Like I was just gonna plan on using Wi-Fi, so I was only able to use it in the evenings. We did have a friend that we were able to use her phone, and that's like how we were able to walk around and all. But yeah, I I think it was like a part of it was not being able to sorry, I'm like rethinking all these things. That's okay. We are going to roll with it. Part of it was not being able to like research and do that on my own. And then the other part was being with people who don't have allergies. And then another part was like being in a foreign place. So I think Norway, it was a lot easier to see see allergies and all that stuff. But in Spain, it was a lot harder. So long story long, I had salads for literally every meal, lunch and dinner, for a whole week, and I was a little hangry. But that was the start of it. So I'm like, ooh, salad, so fun, refreshing. Then we met up with, so for Norway, one of the girls' sisters, she met up with us and was like our 4th member for most of it. And then she flew back home to Germany where she lives. And then we did a couple days, just the 3 of us. And then we met up with another girl's friend who came with us for like the first 2 stops from Barcelona and Granada. And when we met up with her, we were able to find a gluten-free bakery, which was great. I like grabbed a bunch of carbs and loaded up. It wasn't very good, but it was carbs that I could have. And then we went to the La Sagrada Familia, and that place is amazing. I will say, like, Barcelona at the time, I was like, not my fave, but the architecture and the history, it is stunning, literally stunning. So I put the sandcastle because it's just like a giant like castle-ish. It's a cathedral, but it's so stunning, and it's been under construction for like 100 years, and it's still not even close to being done. So we did the audio walking tour, which was like an hour, and just like toured around. The stained glass is incredible. It's so cool. And then we continued walking. Like, we walked over 10 miles this day. That's what I'm currently marking right here. It was a lot, but we found Gaudi is like the person who designed all this stuff, and he had a park, and we walked there, and it was like all the way up to the top of the hill of the city, and it was a really stunning park with a gorgeous lookout, and it was just really cool to experience all the architecture. I feel like we saw so much on this Monday, literally like so much of Barcelona, which was great because then we kind of did we did the main city and all the fun stuff, and then we kind of detoured to the beach and whatnot the other days. And then for the last thing, I marked tapas not dinner, LOL, because we finally found a place for like a really late dinner, and we were like, oh, we're just coming for tapas because that's kind of like what they do for dinner there, and that's what the girls who I was traveling with, remember, I had salad for every meal, but they really wanted like their tapas experience, which is great and dandy. And yeah, so we said we wanted tapas. Great, okay. They like sat us in this great outdoor seating area and all this, and then they gave us the dinner menus, and we're like, oh, where's the tapas menu? And they're like, are you eating tapas or are you eating dinner? And we're like, we're eating tapas for dinner. And they're like, no, tapas are not dinner, tapas are dinner. And then it was like really dramatic, and we're like, we are having tapas. And they ripped the tablecloth out from under our table while we were still sitting there. They like stacked all the plates, ripped the tablecloth, did this dramatic, and then they just like put these like plastic plates on the table. It was a totally different like place setting, vibe, treatment, because we got tapas for dinner. And we spent just as much, but it was so comical. We were laughing very hard. So yeah, that was our experience, and I totally mixed up the order of this because I was talking, but yeah, that was really funny. So that's what I put for that. Then the next day we went and found this acai bowl place, which was great. I'm using this little juicing sticker from Playing With Me stickers. And then we walked through a market that was probably one of the lamest markets I've ever seen, and we walked 30 minutes to go to this market and then this beach and park, and honestly, it was not very good. Public beaches in Barcelona are pretty gross. I wrote so gross, but that's me being dramatic. I mean, I don't have beaches where I live, but like, that was not a beach. It was super, I mean, it was a beach. I should say that. It was a beach. It was just like really gross. There was people trying to sell you things the whole time, so it wasn't relaxing. It was super rocky. People were smoking. Stuff was like literally everywhere. The water was trash, and then you couldn't even rinse off the sand because they're in a drought. So we had to walk like 30 minutes back to our place, and it was, yeah, it was a thing. So anyways, that was my really extreme opinions. Again, Barcelona is beautiful. I just was like so skewed, and again, I was hangry. We were able to find gluten-free pizza place, which was fantastic. Well, they just happened to have, I was going in thinking I was just going to get another salad, but they happened to have gluten-free pizza, and I literally cried to the lady. The owner was our waitress, and I cried to her because I was like, thank you, you don't know how much this means to me. And it was like such a low point, and really funny, but it was just desperate. I was just so desperate for food and carbs and whatnot, and I didn't even care. And the lady was like, girl, you're good. Like, I got you. It's rough out here. Yes. And then why am I thought that I had another, okay, whatever. It is all good. Legs are long. Okay. Then we came back, we all were just felt so gross. And so we showered and got glam, and then went to this really gorgeous rooftop spot for dinner at sunset. Literally the most stunning thing. So that was exciting, and that totally redeemed. And yeah, but I was in my feelings. Like I said, I was carb deprived, and I was just feeling it. I think, like, again, it just, homesickness came in waves, and like sometimes it hit harder, especially when I wasn't eating good, or like feeling of maybe like, I don't know, not left out, but like, yeah, long story long. It was just all the feels. Then the next morning, and I think part of it was this too, it was the day that my grandpa had passed, like his 2-year anniversary, and that was really sad for me. Yeah, so I was just processing all that and being away from my family from that like landmark date. And then the next morning we woke up early and we flew to Granada, Spain. And let me tell you, Granada is gorgeous. 10 out of 10, recommend. I feel like not many people talk about it. It wasn't on a lot of our like blogs when we were researching, but it's really, really pretty. If you are planning a trip to Spain or know somebody planning a trip to Spain, highly recommend Granada. The culture was just completely different. It definitely has some like Islamic culture like tied in, because we went like down south of Spain, and it was kind of just like near those types of countries. But if we felt the safest in Granada, it was so walkable, it was so clean, and yeah, it had really pretty markets, and it's just a really good time, you know? So I just wrote walk around. Oh, how did this get big? For once. Walk around, explored the markets. You're just kind of like getting our bearings. We kind of had like a food dilemma today. We did really good for the most part, but there were some days where we were just like not in sync, because people want to eat different things at different times, and some people like lighter meals, some people like heavier meals, you know, all that stuff. And today was like a very out of sync day because it was a travel day. Travel days like mess everything up. If I can't eat some sort of breakfast, I will definitely not find something at the airport, and then I'm not sure like the area. So I did not eat until we found this restaurant. And it was over 100 degrees. It was so hot, so I was just kind of like surviving. But yeah, so I was thankfully was able to find, they had a celiac pasta restaurant, which like unheard of, and then on top of it, like unheard of in Spain. And I did not expect it for this smaller town. It was life-changing. It was super good pasta. I got like a pasta carbonara, which I have not been able to have since I've been gluten-free, and it was fantastic. And I got some leftovers, so I ate it basically like lunch, and then it was like a really late lunch, and then I ate it later for dinner. The 3 other girls went out and did like a late night walking tour, because there's really just like super cool history, and I was just not feeling it because of part of it was the food and homesickness and whatnot, and it was like a great opportunity. Our Airbnb was super duper nice, And I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna sit this one out. And the other girls were like, yeah, totally, you do that. We were all for, like, thankfully I had traveled with such a great group of girls, and we all understood when there was times that like one of us needed to like stay back or step out, make a phone call, or do whatever. I mean, we were together for 2.5 weeks. We didn't spend every living moment together, so it was good. I was able to just like chat with my husband and watch the sunrise turn pretty and just like decompress. The introvert inside of me really needed it. So honestly, it was like a highlight of my trip, which that sounds really lame. It's not like highlight, but like it was a much needed time. And I look back on that and I smile, and I'm glad I did that. Okay, then the next morning, you know, I was able to get re-energized. The next morning we woke up and we found a place that had like acai bowls, and I ordered an acai bowl and I asked for no granola, and it came covered in granola, which I can't have. So that was kind of like, oh, you know, all that stuff. And then they were like, oh, we order crepes. And like, I can't have a crepe. I'm gluten-free. And they're like, oh no, our crepes are naturally gluten-free. I'm like, that would be good to know. Thank you. Yes, I will take a crepe. So I got my first ever gluten-free crepe. As far as I know, maybe I had one before, but it was banana and Nutella. It was literally amazing. Still thinking about it, and I need to recreate it at home. I had never really had Nutella until then, so that was fantastic. And then let me just figure out my spacing really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's work our way back. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, let's still work our way backwards here, which is kind of weird for talk throughs, so bear with me. Just bear with me. Okay. The friend who joined us, she ate snails, so that was wild. Literally wild. And then we kind of like packed up this night, because like we were kind of doing the same thing where we were just in certain places. Like we were only there for like one full day, a day and a half, I guess, in Granada. Yeah, so it's just a lot of turnaround time. But we went to another flamenco show this night because the girl didn't get to see it when we were in Barcelona. She hadn't flown in yet, and we were raving about it, and we saw that they had one, and apparently Granada is where the flamenco dancing had started, and we're like, okay, of course we have to go here. So we did that, and honestly, the second show was even better. It was even better. It was so good. So good. I feel like I am skipping around. That's okay. Here we go. That's for the flamenco show. We had come back and needed to cool off because you're gonna see me mark. It was 100 degrees again, and we were doing even more walking, so we came back and cooled down and watched the first Princess Diaries, and that was like a common theme. We watched the second one later, you'll see me mark that, but we watched the first Princess Diaries while we cooled off. Okay, here's where the spacing comes in. I marked another little castle here because we toured. It wasn't a castle, but it was just a giant house. It's called Alhambra, and it's just kind of like a very significant place in Granada. So the architecture was insane there. Their tile work, Granada is really known for their tile work, and it was so amazing. Then I'm marking here that it was 105 degrees, so we would die in. And then my last two little things is that we met okay, well, on their walking tour that night, their tour guide was like, you have to find this one shop, and it has this really amazing artist who makes like tiles. He's like I don't know, they just knew, and they'd passed by his shop, but he had just closed, and it was super, like, they were really bummed because they wanted to grab a like Granada tile as one of their souvenirs. So yeah, it's just a thing. So we searched so long for this tile shop. Like, I feel like it's not that big of a town, but like it was big enough. We were just like, I don't know where. Finally we found it, and the artist's name is Lorenzo. He was amazing, and I was able to finally use this little doodle that I've had sitting in my collection forever. He taught us like his whole process, how he paints it, how he like is a professor. We were in his shop for like 30-45 minutes. I don't know, it was really cool. His like little daughter was there, and it was a grand time. So yeah, that was really fun and a special memory, so I had to mark that. Then I kind of worked my way backwards, so you've heard all that. I don't know, I like committed to this layering and I don't know why. Okay, next day we flew to Mallorca, which was great. I was very happy to be ending our trip at a true beach spot. I'm pretty sure Mallorca is where like all the British people, it's like their Hawaii is the best way to describe it. So we were with a bunch of British and like other European folks, which was fun. People were very confused why 3 American girls were in Mallorca. Like, it's just like not a hub. It's gorgeous though, and the beaches there, unreal. So we got up early and flew there, but I have this little flap because I didn't put an extender and I just needed one. I ended up sadly starting my period 10 days early, and I was heartbroken. I was so sad and mad because I was not prepared, and it just like that explained all my emotions and just added even more emotions. So thankfully, friends traveling with other girls, they were able to help me out, and I was able to get supplies to hold me over, and we were able to find a coffee shop that was open before we were leaving for our flight, which again is like very rare. Coffee was hard to come by sometimes, like the times that we needed it. And yeah, so we flew to Mallorca. It was a quick little puddle jump flight, and then I listened to a bunch of audiobooks. That's when I finally was able to like get my audiobook game back on. Then we took a 2-hour bus ride. I don't know if orange was the sticker to choose, but we're rolling with it. It was a 2-hour bus ride to get from the airport to our spot, because like the airport was in the middle, and then we needed to go all the way to the coast to the beach. So that was kind of funny, and that's where definitely I ended up talking to a couple girls on the bus. They were like, they heard our American like accents, and they're like, what are you doing here? So that was funny, but it was great because we kind of had an apartment we actually had apartments at all these places, but we were finally able to like use the fridge. We were here the longest out of all the stops. So we stopped at this little supermarket. It was called Super Bip Bip. It was adorable. We ended up like going there every night to pick up ice cream or whatever random things. But the first time we were starving, so we grabbed so many snacks and drinks. We grabbed these donut floaties because there was a pool at our complex. And yeah, we got to know the like employee there, and that was really funny. He would like wave to us every time we walked past, even when we weren't going in, because that town is really small as well, so we'd pass by it anytime we were leaving. And grabbed our donut floaties, and we hung out at the pool for a bit, and then when we were ready to go to dinner, we stopped by this beach right before and just kind of like hung out there for a bit, played some card games, and then we I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, I definitely am. Hold up. I'm missing pizza. That's what. We went to pizza on the first night. Have no fear. I just got pizza. Uh-oh. Can I keep you together? Maybe. We went to this pizza place and it was great. Look at, I have pizza sitting right here. And then we came back and we watched Princess Diaries, the second one, and oh, I guess that too should have been on the other side with popcorn. So that was kind of like our thing that we did pretty much every night in America. It was like true beach vacation, and it was just so glorious. So the next day we got up early to no, that is not true. We slept in on Saturday for the first time ever. Let's see, I was just an autopilot saying we got up early because we had been getting up so early. Then we took a 2-hour bus ride because it just takes that long to get there. I feel like, hold up, do I not have an extender for Saturday? No. What? What? Wait. I think I was bamboozled. I have so many things to mark on Saturday with no extender. We are in deep trouble here. Okay. Oh my goodness, my extender was like open. Okay, we are here. We are thriving. This is also funny, kind of. Okay. So we took a really long bus ride to get to the market. And I'm going to kind of do this out of order again because of spacing. But as you heard, I am on my period. And no. Okay. And I can often bleed pretty heavy on my first day. And I thought I was prepared. But again, bus ride was way longer than I expected to be because public transportation is not reliable and things were late and we had to like go to different bus stops and it was just like, it was a struggle. So it took us forever to get to the market, and by the time we got there, I completely, like, we wore our bathing suits because we were going to the beach after, and I completely bled through my bathing suit. And if you've ever had that happen before, it's just the worst experience. And here we are, we're like 2 hours away from the place that we're staying. I'm nowhere near, like, and finding a public bathroom, like I said, is just like so impossible. And only certain restaurants and places even had them. So we were like going into every place and asking, and I'm like, I literally need to, it was like panic. I'm like, I need to change my tampon. I know. So it was just terrible. So I have this crying because it was just the worst. And I had bled all the way through, you could see. So it's just so uncomfortable. And here we are at this packed, but really cute and enjoyable little Saturday market. And we spent the day like getting there, and I just felt like stupid that I didn't prepare myself, or I don't know. So anyways, we found a little spa place that had a smoothie, like a very bougie, healthy smoothie place next to it that was like very relaxing. It had this outdoor seating. That's where we were finally able to find a bathroom. And that is when we like got a smoothie. I regrouped and was just like, you know what? There's only so much I can do. This is life. So we were able to find a bathing suit. It took a long time, but we found a bathing suit that I could buy that was black. And which that took a while too, because it was like the market, but then also very bougie stores. So I was like, what? I'm not going to spend like $100 on a bathing suit here. So finally found a bathing suit. It's worked. It's actually very cute. I will keep it in my collection, but I'm a little triggered by it. Then we walked 30 minutes to get on another bus to go to the beach. and this beach was amazing. It was so, like, seriously, so cool. I'm just using the wrong things everywhere. It's terrible. That's gonna stay for sure. But this beach, seriously, incredible, incredible beach. I don't feel like this plan with me is any shorter, side note, but I'm gonna grab a new sticker for this. You know what? I'm gonna grab this little heart. Hello? There we go. And we just got to like relax, tan, read, swim, all the things, and it was fantastic. So it was all worth it, but sometimes being a girl just sucks. Then we finally came home and we went out to dinner, and we thought we were going to a really great restaurant that had like so many options, you know, but you know, sometimes when restaurants have so many options, that means they're not good. They're not all good options. They're not good at things. And that's just how it happened. So I ordered a burger, but I had to ask for it to be like, you know, lettuce wrapped. And instead they just brought me a just a patty, no cheese, no ketchup, no nothing. And then like 5 fries, and they were unseasoned. And we waited over an hour for this meal. And one of my friends, she got nachos, and it came out looking like Lunchables nachos looked better than the nachos that she got at this place. So anyways, we originally were calling it the Cheesecake Factory because they had so many options. But it was like the worst food ever. But we went to our little super bit market after, got more food, got better ice cream, and then we watched the movie Ever After, which is an old Drew Barrymore movie. It's one of the girls' favorites movies, and we were kind of like on a princess kick apparently. And yeah, it was good. I'm sure if I watched it back in the day it'd be better, but it's still good. Then we got up the next morning and went to a different beach. They're like all same but different, right? But it was gorgeous. I'm like not a beach girl. I don't like the sand getting everywhere, but these beaches were at least pretty, so it made up for it. And as long as I'm like close by home where I can shower off after, that's great. Then we found this little cafe that had the best nachos, literally the best nachos, and it redeemed the nachos from the night before because we were a little scarred. But this day was like true relaxation. It was fantastic. We went to the beach in the morning, and then we went to the pool in the afternoon and just floated on our donut floaties. It was really warm. We were able to tan and relax. And again, my introverted self was having the best time. Yeah, so it's just funny. If you're introverted, you know. You just know. So, marking tanning, and then gotta keep that down. Then we went out for a super late dinner. Like, we did not have dinner until like 10, 11, and we had paella, which Spain is known for, but we hadn't been able to like get it at restaurants. I don't know, they were in Barcelona, they were ordering tapas, and I was surviving on salad. And then in Granada, it wasn't just like a thing as much. So we finally were to have a paella, and I was able to have it. It was gluten-free, which was great, but it takes longer to make. So our already late dinner got even later. So thankfully we brought some card games. We have learned to always bring a set of card games, and we played cards at the table and had a grand time. And then we came back and we watched Emily in Paris because we were going to Paris the next day, and one of the girls hadn't watched the show, and we did that. So yeah, that was fun. All right, to recap on my sidebar, I have fun with friends, of course. I did not mean to put that there. Okay. I think I was gonna maybe cut these down. These girlies down. These girls, though, they match us very well because we are 2 blondes and a brunette. Okay. Wait, cute. I have not been able to use these. These are Whimsical Cat Girls, and I have not been able to use them because they are huge. Then I put like a food and hangry, not hungry, hangry. And then Spain. Put that luggage, but I also pulled the sticker. Is that too much? We're all about the layering here. All right, there is my finished spread. Woohoo! And that is the end of all these stickers that I made. I don't feel like this got any shorter, but thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed these talk-throughs, and thanks for listening to all my little stories, and I will catch you in my next Plan With Me. Bye, everyone. All right, here's a couple clips from my trip. The 2 other girls I traveled with, we all had matching backpacks and luggage, which was comical. And then here is the La Sagrada Familia, the outside and the inside. The architecture's just gorgeous, and it's all done by Gaudi, who's just a famous architect and artist. And this is his architecture park that overlooks the city of Barcelona, which is just stunning. And then here are some of the beaches from Mallorca that were literally incredible, breathtaking, but so crowded. And yeah, here's just a couple more glimpses. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, everyone.